Conversations with Kelly.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Conversations with Kelly. And today I have a very special guest. Yes, Jake Bishop.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for coming. And we're going to be talking about all sorts of stuff with you today and your journey. And if people didn't get a chance to see you when you came and did the panel at our
Thank you for
Mind, Body, and Spirit Expo, now they'll be able to hear your story.
That was wonderful. Thanks for inviting me to that as well.
Oh, you did great. It's great to have all different, all people from every walk of life and every story. I love being able to hear people's stories and then how they've changed their lives and how they empower people. And you have an incredible story. And if people don't know you, they wouldn't know looking at you the things that you have gone through. And I got to tell you, though, your mugshot is everything.
Oh, jeez.
Let's just dive into that
I got
part
to
of things.
copyright that or something so I can sell that.
It's hysterical. He looks like a GQ fashion model. Like,
I shared something on Instagram one time, and someone sent the story, and it's 2 GQ mugshot, and it got circulated like 100,000 times.
holy cow. Yeah, best mugshot ever. Not that you want to get a mugshot.
Thank you. Those guys in South Dakota knew what they were doing.
So tell us a little bit about your journey. I want to have people hear it from your end of things, of how far you have really come.
God, well,
set the stage.
the year was not well. I'll start off. I think it was best to start from the beginning. And I was grew up here in Penfield, and for me, I escaped a little bit just from some of the traumas I had in my life at the age of 13, because I was already drinking at 13. I was bringing in, I don't know what possessed me, but I had a little flask, and I thought, oh, this is great. And I would fill up like whatever was in the liquor cabinet, wine, vodka, whiskey, all into one thing. I even was like, oh, I'll sell a shot to somebody for $1 so you can drink it.
He was an entrepreneur.
It was like, make some money. And then by 15, it got a little darker. I got introduced to cocaine. And then
at 15.
At 15. And I think people have to understand it in the suburbs, how prevalent it is to get cocaine.
I learned that when my son was going to Webster.
Oof.
And I would hear all about it. And I'm like, wait, what are you guys talking about? And it was crazy.
It was almost like a class thing, because, I got introduced by a few of my friends because we were selling marijuana. And then they said, well, Jake, look, this is actually much more. I'm like, oh, I'm all about it. But it was introduced from people from Pittsford. And they made a big deal about how they could afford it and how they could spend money every week on it. And it just kind of grew from there. Developed into smaller charges. Then it was armed robbery by the time I was 17. And it just kept... 17, yeah.
That's young.
And don't let anybody fool you. I said the worst thing you can ever do is get yourself a good attorney, because you'll learn nothing, because they will get you off and you will just feel invincible.
Okay.
Shout out to Steve Leonardo, by the way. Thank you again. He's helped with my transformation. But just after that, from high school years on, I think just little bits of me didn't quite fit in, and criminality was a way to be able to express myself in an odd way. I was independent, I was thrill-seeking, and
once you get that thrill, it's hard to not have that anymore.
There's an addiction with the drugs, but there's also an addiction with the feeling.
The adrenaline.
The adrenaline rush.
Yeah.
I remember, oh my God, my attorney is going to kill me. With one of the things, getting away in police chases and stuff. I had one in St. Louis, and I remember the judge. Oh my God, it was a bar in the business district, and I would see this judge, and I remember I had to go and I'd always take care of his table, always hang out with him, and then I had to be in front of him in court. And I remember he looked at the paperwork, and he's like, escaped by 120. He's like, I don't even know if this is possible. He's like, this doesn't sound real. And I was like, he said, well, what were you thinking? And I was like, I wasn't.
I definitely was not.
But it just
But you
kinda
probably
grew.
thought you were invincible, especially at
feel-
that age. And
When you're a young guy like that, and you feel that pressure and that weight, and you go into court, and I think I liked part of the process. You go in, you wear a suit. I loved Hickey Freeman suits. I worked at this men's shop for years, and you felt like you were building that kind of gangster mentality that was guiding you into something worse, and it did eventually. Eventually, some people did pick up on it, and I got involved with trafficking and distribution.
whew, you're lucky you made it out, though.
Yeah. I'm
You're one of
very
the lucky
grateful.
ones.
I'm grateful. I think there's a lot of, there's a lot of things like going to prison. South Dakota, that mugshot was for trafficking and distribution of 133 pounds of marijuana, and I remember I used to laugh.
So my
about
weight
that.
in marijuana.
Yes, a Kelly, as we call it.
You know, Here you go.
I think coming out of that, and then moving around, I moved to Little Italy in St. Louis afterwards, and I spent some time down there working for a great guy, Charles Marnotti. I was his driver for the Ironworkers Union, and the very first day I took him in, he said, I got to go to the hospital. I'm like, okay. He said, I have an appointment there. It turns out, because of his time over in Vietnam, he had Lou Gehrig's disease from Agent Orange. So they told him that day that it was a death
Wow.
sentence. And I remember just floating around from different things. He passed away eventually after about a year. But I remember thinking to myself, how fortunate we are, to be able to have that health is wealth feeling through times.
Oof, that's powerful.
Yeah. But as far as my journey now, I've been fortunate. I've been sober 5 years. It's been a gift. A lot of
But
that
it's
was
probably
yeah.
a challenge every day, too.
You know what? I'll be honest about how my confidence is and how my recovery is. I didn't go to AA. I remember that feeling. I got into a DWI, and I crashed my car. I got taken down by a canine unit, and I was brought in front of Judge Molly, who was the very first person when I was 17 that I was brought in front of on a Sunday morning. So I'm brought in front of Judge Molly on a Sunday morning in Penfield again.
He's probably like, I remember you.
He told me, he said, I want to wring your neck right now. He said, no progress. And I said, well, actually, I own quite a few businesses and stuff. He's like, Jake, no progress. Look at you.
You're still here.
And I thought about it. I said, I'm in the same jail cell that I was in when I was 17 downtown, in the same cell, in front of the same judge. It doesn't matter how much money. I said, my life felt exactly the same in that moment. And he said, I'm gonna allow you to be able to leave today because of your attorney being able to work this out. He said, but I don't know if I'm signing your death warrant or someone else's by releasing you. And I was embarrassed. My legs ripped up, my weight was down, and I just said, I'm not gonna do this again. I was like, there's something inside right now that I'm finished failing, and I want to succeed. So I got a dog. I got a German Shepherd, ironically, Allie, and I just would walk with her every single day, 3 times a day, sometimes 5 miles. Poor Allie. And I would just walk with her.
She probably loved it. Let's be real.
I think at some point she's like, oh my God, why?
How did I end up
could've-
here?
And because they would tell me, he said, a craving lasts 15 minutes. So I'd say, well, I'll go out for 30 minutes. Every time I felt something, because it was cocaine and alcohol, and
Hours
Allie's like,
later.
I can't even get a rest with this guy. I got to get up again. And it just worked out that way. And then I met Tony Gingello, who changed my life. He said, Jake, I'm doing a radio show. I know you know me. Why don't we do something together? And because I saw him in
I love how you
106.3.
just did the voice.
Well, Tony's thing was, he had that voice, but he always had these great stories. He'd be like, me and John Holmes were in the Coco Lounge in 1988. And I love that about him. He always had some funny story to tell, but he didn't know how to operate a lot of the buttons in the studio. He was like, I feel like I'm on the Enterprise, the bridge, I don't know what to touch. And I said, Tony, we just did an entire show, and you never turned it on. It didn't record for an hour.
Oh, no.
And he was like, that's why you were supposed to be doing this.
See, that's why I got professionals like Julio.
Just fantastic, by the way.
I look at his stuff and I'm like, I don't even know what to do. what you guys can't see behind the scenes, Julio
yeah.
just turned the volume off on my phone. I'm like, what did you just touch? And he was like, it's this little button. I'm like, wait, what?
No, the 17 microphones. You got the crane coming down too for some of the wide shots.
You know how TikTok, they say you were this many years old when you learned
Yes.
something. Well, I'm 53 years old before I learned that
Silent
there's
button.
a silent button on my phone.
You don't look 53, by the way. I gotta say that. You're
Oh,
like,
thank
you're like
you.
Benjamin Button. We're just going back in time every time I see you.
God bless me that I have the genes.
It's all that. It's all the mushroom tea stuff.
yeah,
Whatever you're
right?
having. Yeah,
No, I wish.
I'm
No,
the
my,
opposite.
my,
I'm whittling down every time I see you. I
My-
think I'm at the C4s and energy drinks.
my grandmother, she was 98 and looked like she was 7. She's stunning.
Oh my God.
Stunning. And I'm like, please just let me have those genes and I will be happy.
See, I feel like I'm working against it because I know my family has longevity. My papa was 100, and even at
Wow.
100 years old,
That's-
he didn't break a bone until 100, and he was just about to leave too, and passed away. But even the nurses there were like, he almost had us fooled that he was about to live forever. We were we thinking how?
100 years old though.
Yeah.
They made people different back in the day.
Oh,
I
yeah.
swear they did.
World War II. I mean,
Yeah.
Brian.
all of the stuff, like all of the stuff that they went through. My grandmother was one of like 10 kids, and they lived on a potato farm, and it just amazing to hear all of the journeys. And I mean, anybody that knew my grandmother, we ate potatoes every night because that's what she knew. But she would make them completely different every single night. But
I gotta say, the potato's underrated.
I was a little porky.
Nope.
As my vet calls my female dog, Zoe, you're fluffy.
I love Zoe.
You're a little fluffy with the big ears. My girl with the big ears, my rescue. We were talking when you came in about your girl,
Oh, Roxy.
She's
Foxy Roxy.
she's so freaking cute.
She's so sweet.
She's so cute. But we were talking about too that you have to have her doing puzzles.
This Belgian Mountain. So we did her DNA test. So she's 75% Belgian Malinois, 25% German Shepherd, and she has to be doing something.
Yeah.
She loves cuddling. I mean, if you want to go over there and cuddle, she'll just go over there and squeeze your arm, hold your arm.
Oh,
Oh, she's sweet. She loves going. She wants to.
I have to meet her in
attention.
person then. I got to meet her in person.
You'll love her. But she has puzzles. I remember I was so excited because I thought, well, these are 8 minutes and 5 minutes, 10-minute part time. And I remember I put all of her puzzles in front of her, and she was able to do them in under all the part time. And I was like, what is next? Do I just get her a
That's
do I
crazy
just get her a
to me.
chessboard next? Is that what's happening here?
That's crazy. Now my two can't get out of their own way.
No.
But my male dog is super duper athletic, and then you got my female that she's young, like she's 3.
Oh yeah.
She's a baby. She can't get out of her own way. She really just can't get out of her own way. She will just flop right over. Doesn't care about anything.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
And I love it, but
You and I
Oh
love our
my
rescues. I notice we
I
always
know.
share the same thing. Anytime with a post, I'm like, we have to save this dog. And Kelsey, we have to save this dog.
And I'm gonna be working with a bunch of the rescues coming up. I'll be going into Verona, Rochester Animal Services, and I'm gonna be doing either probably 2 times a month. I'm gonna be going in and working with the volunteers and doing lives and showcasing all of
That's what we need.
the
That's
pups.
fantastic.
But I told the one head of the volunteers, I said, do not, under any circumstances, let me leave with
I know it. That's what.
all of these dogs, because I will. And pitties are I love pitties. I love me some pitties. They get bad raps, but they are
Absolutely.
the sweetest, most lovable dogs. And I know I'll end up with,
My Instagram's filled with just like Pitbull, like
yep.
Yeah.
Dogs, just dogs in general. We had them at the last event too. We had North Paw Rescue came to the last
wonderful.
event. We had 15 at different times.
That's a lot.
But we had 15 dogs. I'm like, oh, but I'll take that one. And there was this one little teeny dog, and I'm not a teeny dog type of girl, but they had Daffodil, her name is. And she was this little teeny from a puppy mill. And oh my God, she was the cutest. She was just this little teeny foofy Pomeranian part something else.
Oh, you put a palm on anything. I love it. Pomskis especially.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh my God, she's the cutest little thing ever. And I was just like holding her in my hand.
Well, yeah, it's like easy to take care of. Just put it in my pocket.
Go. And you can go. My two, I can't take them anywhere. So
Well,
they get sick in the car. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's why Roxy too. I mean, she just keeps me on. You know, we talked. You said something about my recovery and like a day. At some point, I think it does. I know there are people that do struggle with it every day, and I understand that. I get that, but I think the things about places like AA, sometimes it's right at the door every day, and it knocks, and you keep knocking, and then you have to kind of just ignore it. And I think mine eventually became knocking at the door to, okay, moved in across the street to now it's outside of the state. It's not something I really consider every day. It's, I'm grateful for it, but I think it's just so much of my lifestyle is busy, whether it's being on the board for the Bethany House or the Mission Continues or doing the Dizio and Gingelo Foundation.
Tell us a little bit about all of these different things that
Sure.
you're working on now and who you're working with.
I have a very unhealthy lifestyle because I like to pile everything on, and I have a hard time saying no. So, after Tony passed away, and he was on 106.3, and then we went to 100.9 WXIR, it went to Rising Recovery, and we started doing a lot of community events. And from the community events, it expanded into a nonprofit. And after Tony passed away, one of my dear friends from elementary school, Brian Dizio, reached out and said, I want to help. He said, I got Capone's Italian Eatery. I can be able to provide some food. Let's work together.
Yeah.
And it expanded into giving out, almost under a year, we've given out 3,000 pounds of food. We've got turkeys. We gave away almost 300 turkeys
Wow.
on Thanksgiving. We've made holiday meals for Christmas.
That's incredible.
Halloween, we get DJ, we get safe place for the kids. And I got to say, Mercedes Vasquez Simmons from the Latino Youth and Development Resource Center, Virginia McIntyre, from Gates, all these people, Republicans, Democrats, coming together for one cause. And it was a beautiful thing for Brian and I to be able to share in some of, I guess, the wealth of our happiness, to share and talk to people. Because, and Brian would probably love me to talk about this a little bit, men working together in that brotherhood, and especially men who have had some trauma. Brian lost his mother to cancer when we were in in elementary school. A beautiful woman, just a great soul.
In
then-
elementary school,
school.
nonetheless.
Oh yeah, you think at the time, we didn't know it. We didn't know when we were kids what it was going to feel like. But then it ends up into the passing of his brother to suicide when he was just a teen. His younger brother, Andrew. And then 2 years ago now, his father on Christmas. So passing away. So Greg, and my grandfather passed away on Christmas morning as well. I remember we looked at each other after talking about it. I said, I don't think we said anything. I think we just were like, what do we do? And I said, we need to do something to get out in the community. We got to be able to stay busy, and this is what they would have wanted.
Yeah, and giving back is so powerful.
Oh, absolutely. My friends, I talk about the most successful people I know, my most successful friends. I don't judge their success by how much money they make. I value their friendship by how much love they're able to give, whether it's handing out food, giving their time. It's something, sometimes I'd rather have people volunteer for an hour with us than throw us $50.
Yeah.
Honestly.
It means more.
Yes.
It to me, when people want to come in and volunteer their time, that's worth more than the $50 to me.
Absolutely.
And being able to support in other ways, because some people, like when I first started, I didn't have the money. I was a single mom, with 2 kids, and my way of giving back was to be able to provide platforms to be able to showcase people, men, women, didn't matter, the magazine, doing the events, that was my way of giving back, still is. I like to be able to work with the nonprofits and give them my time, my services to help them out and get them out to a broader audience. And
We're learning. I mean, the people I met over at the panel you hosted were incredible. I mean, victims of domestic violence. Jonathan too. His mother, was it Tough Mother?
One tough mother,
tough mother.
My girl Christine.
She came in. Actually, she came in a couple weeks ago and supported.
Yes, yep. I saw. I was like, hey, wait, you got a
Christine.
T-shirt before me? Wait a minute.
Shameless over here. The Black Hand Company. We've just expanded on that. So if anybody wants to check that out, we're
See
on
if I can maneuver without
Please.
knocking over the microphone. But
Black Hand Company. Yeah. So
I got my T-shirt. I got a sweatshirt too.
for those who want to make their mark.
Yes.
That's we've expanded into a podcast now.
How did this come about?
I think it was because we did so much with the foundation, and then I'm in the gym constantly. I'm there for 2 hours a day, every day.
But it's a good relief
Oh yeah,
and
that's
release of stress for
I
you,
have
I'm
to
sure.
have it. I mean, everybody knows if I'm there, that's my peace time.
Yeah.
I mean, it's.
Yep.
You go to war against your body, but it is peace in my mind.
Yep,
when
I
feel
used
that.
to go all the time, 2 hours, 2.5 hours a day. I'd throw in my earbuds
Oh, yeah.
and just go. And I had a trainer. I need to get back into that lifestyle because I've fallen out of it.
Easy to do.
But
Easy to do.
Yeah, I know.
Injuries, getting sick, one thing. I
I was
tell people-
burnout because I
yeah.
was working out way too much and I was taking way too much pre-workout. Who knew? Who knew?
One day I forgot that I was like, I just drank an energy drink, but then I was like, oh no, I just drank that pre-workout because I forgot. And I was like, oh my God, my heart was,
Yeah, exactly. Well, I was taking so much. My trainer,
oh,
I'm up on the top floor at LA Fitness in Irondequoit, and I was up on the top, and I was on the treadmill, and I'm going because I'm getting like warmed up before going down to train, and he's looking up at me, and all of a sudden I wasn't there anymore. I had fallen, passed out
oh my God.
on the treadmill. I bit the dust and hard, like I was mangled. There were guys on both sides of me on the treadmills. They didn't even flinch, didn't ask me how I was doing. They just kept looking straight
God.
ahead. And all of a sudden, my trainer comes flying up the stairs. He was like, what the hell just happened to you? And I was like, he goes, let me guess. You took too much pre-workout today, didn't you? Didn't I tell you to stop doing that? And I'm like, but he was like, this is what you get. He was like, and we're not training today.
Funny if he came up, he's like, Kelly, come on, get yourself together. We got training to do.
But yeah, my leg was all banged up.
Ooh.
I had a big
You
old,
hit your head?
I hit my face, not even just my head. I hit my face.
Oh, forget about it.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. But then I didn't want to come in back into the gym because I'm like, thanks. I look like a complete idiot.
We want you. Well, wear your Black Hand
Yeah,
gear when you
I'll-
go in. I'm telling you, we've got our Instagram, and I think a lot of the people that reached out about ambassadors and hey, can we get this and wear it? And honestly, I didn't say no, but I said I really wanted to go to people that are just something significant about what they want to give back and how they want to be able
Aw.
to make a choice about things. It's not just fitness. You know, the podcast, we've been able to have some great people on. We've had Kevin Walker, who does training for future boxing with kids.
Oh.
He will grab kids, men, women, kids, and he trains them and he teaches them. And these are people from the city that don't always have a lot of options, but he's got people that are going for Golden Gloves. This is a man that's changed a lot of the reason why kids are going over there and choosing a better life now. So I gotta
That's
thank
powerful.
Kevin Walker. Oh yeah, and I gotta say the heart of a giant. I mean, he's 300 pounds, 6'4", so he's a big guy. But he came on, and if you guys want to check it out too, the Black Hand podcast over on Spotify. You'll find us on Facebook and Instagram. But He came on with Jeff Messinger from the Mission Continuous.
Yeah.
Love Jeff.
Which he has actually joined my events, and he has been in the magazine before.
This is my guy.
So.
Yeah, I love it. But the two of those guys together, they work together, and that's the kind of message that we want to have with the Black Hand Company.
That's incredible, and
you have definitely made your mark too.
Yeah, I'm excited about having my shirt and my hoodie. I'll be wearing them.
Please.
That's for sure. I'm taking some photos. And where are we going to see you next? What have you got planned? What do you got going on?
Well, next we're going to have another episode come out. We got Deputy Favada from the Opioid Task Force talking about saving some lives. Of course, Rebecca.
I know him very well.
Rebecca from Midtown. She's going to be joining us talking about fitness and her new expo she's going to be doing. But June 15th, we're going to be taking the kids from Kevin Walker's group with boxing. We're going to be taking them over to the Italian American Community Club to learn about bocce. And they're going to be playing in a tournament, and we'll be providing pizza from Capone's and giving the kids an opportunity.
God.
Well, the generation from the Italians, they're worried about saving and preserving a lot of their culture.
Yeah.
And in the city, they're worried about preserving the culture and just lives of the kids.
Yeah.
So we're happy to bring them together.
Okay, bocce is so fun. And my very first ever Facebook profile photo was me playing bocce at Midtown. And there was a bocce tournament. Never played it before in my life. And my girlfriend had me doing it, and I loved it. And we killed it. We killed it. Her son was like 16 and our ringer because he was amazing. But I've done a ton of stuff with the Italian American Sport Club, and they used to joke with me, and they said that they were going to put me out on the bocce field so that I could find a date.
Wow.
And I was like,
that
what?
would be them, yes.
Like the 80-year-old that's over there. Come on.
Hey,
Come
Kelly,
on, guys. Oh, they were hysterical. They were always trying to hook me up or set me up with, one of their Italian friends.
I'll be on the lookout when I go, Kelly. I'm going to be watching.
I know. Come on. Find me a date. It's been too long.
We know they can cook.
Yeah. As long as they can cook, I'm good. Because I love some Italian food. That's my favorite. That's my go-to.
Don't go keto then. I'm doing the keto right now.
Oh, I
It's
can't
just killing me.
can't.
Yeah.
I can't do any kind of diets. I like to eat too much. I like to eat. So me diets, nope.
Yeah,
Tried.
thanks for having this here with me, but with like 18 restaurants around.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. We got lots of restaurants over here, so yeah, makes it nice. But well, you can also see this gentleman will be here on June 8th, right? June 8th is our family fun day. You think I'd know that by right? But we're going to be here in Parrington Square, and we are going to have a family fun day. We have a petting zoo. Wow. We've got alpacas. We've got goats, alpacas, and I can't remember what else she's bringing. Hedgehogs, I think, from
adorable.
Alpaca Sunset. And we have Ridge's Rescue is bringing a bunch of dogs. So, yeah, it's going to be a super fun day, and we'll have a silent disco. So if people don't know what that's all about, they need to come check it out. And you can buy some merch.
Discos. Yeah.
Yeah, we got everything. Got everything. Snow cones.
Alpaca Disco sounds like a good podcast name. Huh?
Can you imagine what they're going to be like outside, though, with the music? I wonder how the alpacas are going to react to the music outside.
Do they dance? I don't know. I feel like that's something that I would find on
Wouldn't
TikTok.
Wouldn't they be hysterical?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've got to do some TikToks
We'll get
that
on
day.
this.
Yeah, we're gonna get on it. Well, thank you again for coming into the studio today, and tell everybody where they can find you.
Please, you can check me out on Jake Bishop under Facebook or under the Guido Bandito on Instagram, the Black Hand Company. So we're going to be over on Instagram, so just check it out. Give a follow. We do giveaways every single week, and on
Awesome.
Facebook. Yeah.
All right. Well, we are out. Conversations with Kelly.
Thank you.
That's a wrap. I need one of those things.